Chappie, if you want to be in the gang, you have to be cool like Daddy. Look how Daddy walks. Look how cool he is. You need to keep a gangster.
You need to keep a gangster.
Yeah, you need to be cool.
Don't laugh, I'm being cool.
Even when you pull a gun, you have to be cool like this. Boom! Now you try.
No, I can't shoot people.
What?
I can't shoot them, they didn't do anything to me.
How are you gonna do the heist with us if you don't shoot people?
You know what's really ironic about that scene right there?
What's that?
The fact that he thinks he's really being cool.
So it's not just an act. So
And I'm not talking about Chappie, I'm talking about Ninja.
yeah.
Ninja the guy thinks he's really being cool.
So he's not being ironic?
No, I think the director told him, hey, try to teach Chappie to be cool and, just go with that.
Yeah. So and then he pulls out the strut and he pulls out the hand on the crotch and the $100 bill Ben Franklin face.
The underwear.
Boxers. Yeah.
The underwear that he got from Spencer's.
Yeah. That wasn't wardrobe. That was what he was wearing. He stripped down. That's what he wore to set.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to the Last Row podcast. My name is Drew. As always, I'm joined by Badway.
Badway wants to talk about movie.
We want to welcome all new listeners. For those that don't know, this is the podcast where we watch movies that might not have been loved by the critics, find their silver linings, and fill in the blanks that the movie writers might have left out. You can keep in touch with us. You can find us at our website at thelastrowpodcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter at thelastrowpod, facebook.com/thelastrowpod. We're also on Google+. You can leave us some comments on the SoundCloud player. And lastly, head on out to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review if you like what we do. Every little bit counts. We appreciate everyone that's left a review so far. And we're looking forward to receiving some more.
Yeah. So today we did Chappie.
Chappie?
Now in theaters. Well, maybe not now, depending on if let's do it a year from now. It's not in theaters anymore. IMDb, 7.4%. 7.4. Rotten Tomatoes, 32%.
The big disparity there.
Yeah. Metacritic, 4.1%. 2015, rated R, director Neill with 2 L's.
Neill
Blomkamp. In the near future.
Blomkamp?
Neill Blomkamp. Be respectful. In the near future, a mechanized police force patrols the streets and deals with lawbreakers.
Is this RoboCop?
But now, the people are fighting back. When one police droid is stolen and given new programming, he acquires the ability to feel and think for himself, while the robot, dubbed Chappie, puzzles out human behavior. The authorities begin to see him as a danger to mankind and order. They will stop at nothing to ensure that Chappie is the last of his kind. What do you think about that intro?
I think it sounds a lot like RoboCop.
It is a bit. It's like RoboCop mixed with Short Circuit mixed with whatever the hell else.
Any other robot movie?
Insert robot movie here. So we did the movie Chappie. So this is a 2-parter episode. The first half is all Chappie, non-spoiler edition.
Non-stop Chappie.
So you can listen to this spoiler-free, third act spoiler-free, I should say.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the plot, but we won't tell you about the ending.
Right. And the second half is our definitive The Last Row bot.
Robot.
List. So we have a definitive top 10 list of all-time movie robots. So stay tuned for that a little bit later on. So let's see what some of the critics thought.
So let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see how rotten these tomatoes are.
Oh, they're rotten.
So with a 33%, 32, excuse me, I think that this movie definitely had some controversy. And I mentioned this on Twitter and we got some people that responded to us. We decided to go see this movie last weekend.
Yes.
And when we watched it, we figured, hey, it's going to be a good movie and all that. Not that I think it was bad. We'll get into that in a minute. But this was very critically mixed. So Rotten Tomatoes, we pulled three reviews. The first one says, quote, if only our hero were likable or emotionally compelling, viewers might be able to overlook Blomkamp's frenzied, overreaching plot.
Shots fired,
This is Margot Harrison from some blog that I don't know about.
Whatever.
I forgot what it is.
But it was an interesting little take there. Sort of a hot take, if you will. A tepid take.
I think she kind of said what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Next one, Peter Howell from the Toronto Star. Sci-fi filmmaker Neill Blomkamp bolts together used and stolen parts for his robot movie Chappie, and the lamentable result is far from riveting. How do you feel about that?
He's calling him a little bit of a thief, like, the whole Robin Thicke, blurred lines, Marvin Gaye thing. I think is he quote unquote borrowing?
I think he was calling him out a little bit.
Not fair, but kind of fair.
Let's hear what Rafer Guzman says from Newsday. A loud and unpleasant, quote, RoboCop rehash that gives us no one to root for and nothing to think about.
I'm sorry. Can we just? I know it has a little bit of shades of RoboCop, but RoboCop is one guy.
Yeah,
and there's a million of these police droids out there. So
but
that's
listen,
where the comparison ends.
You're
there's
gonna
robot cops.
You're gonna get robot cop comparisons when you got robot cops.
So if you have robot cops, you're immediately gonna think RoboCop.
Yeah, because it's in the word.
It's in the word.
It's in the
word. It's a brilliant title by RoboCop. They stole that idea for all mankind.
But what did you think of this movie?
Well, I'm a sucker for robot movies, especially robot movies with some personality.
Okay.
So I loved the movie. Loved is too strong a word. Let me immediately backtrack that. I liked the movie.
You liked it.
But I admit that it did have some major flaws with what kind of movie this movie wanted to be.
What's your percentage scale on a Rotten Tomatoes scale? Give me a percentage. I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm going to give it a 65%.
65? Okay.
Some arbitrary number.
All
I'm
right.
going to give it a 65.
Okay.
And that's all 65, all due to Chappie and Chappie's learning experiences with Ninja and Yolandi and Dion.
So if you had to watch a movie of ninjas strutting around in Benjamin Franklin boxers, what would you give it?
Oh, that's cool.
Like a negative?
That's an 80% by itself, as long as he's teaching Chappie how to do it.
No, I'm saying no Chappie, you're watching Ninja. I guess you'd be watching a Die Antwoord video then.
I've walked out of YouTube videos of Die Antwoord, okay?
You walked out?
I didn't hit the X. I just stood up and walked in the other room. That's how walk-outable their videos are, but that's not about them now.
You did
it's about
enjoy
Chappie.
it, though.
I did enjoy it. I will say that in the non-Chappie scenes, I was thinking, I kind of want to see Chappie right now. You know what I mean? And I know the movie wasn't just about that. I know it wasn't Short Circuit 3.
Right.
And even though as much as I wanted it to be, I knew it wasn't that. And I do respect Neill Blomkamp's his style of filmmaking, and I know he's more serious than that.
Sure.
But I feel like some of the flaws of the movie led me to just crave more of the interaction with the robot or cyborg, android, whatever you want to call it, and its character.
And I think that you kind of summed up how I felt. I think I liked it a little less than you. Now, I didn't dislike the movie. I want to preface it by saying that, but I am going to be a little critical of it during this episode. Generally, I tend to be a love fest. It tends to be a love fest from Drew here on most movies. Yeah. Even ones that aren't very good. But this time I'm gonna peel back the rose-colored glasses. I'm gonna be a little bit more critical of it. I liked Chappie, the robot. I liked Dev Patel. I thought he was great.
Sure.
There was a couple other characters that I did enjoy. I loved Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman. He was looking pretty huge in this movie.
A little jacked.
He was
jacked for Hugh.
He was a little act.
Yeah.
And he acted very well. He jacked very well. But I did enjoy Hugh Jackman. I thought he was really good. I thought the acting was pretty good by everybody. In fact, and this is before I get into my hate of Ninja.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he was from that music group. I'm showing my age a little bit. Yeah. I'm an old man here.
Oh, yeah. Well,
30 years old. I'm old.
They're not really up our alley. They're not in our age range, I guess.
I knew of them, but I didn't realize that he was of that fame.
Yeah.
And I thought for as crappy of a person that this guy may be in real life, and that's all speculation, by the way.
Sure.
He was a pretty good actor. Pretty good actor.
He was not bad. Not bad at all.
I didn't think they were musicians. I thought they made a song for the movie. I'm like, these actors made a song?
It was their first acting job, and not bad at all for a first-timer, not for sure.
But overall, I thought it was a good movie. Not great, and I could see why the critics are a little all over the place on this one.
Enjoyable, to say the least.
But this brings up an interesting point, okay? Neill Blomkamp. Is that how you say it? Blomkamp?
Sure.
That's how we'll say it.
We'll call it that.
He's drawing a lot of criticism for this film. And this takes me to the point that I wanted to ask you about. A lot of people are fairly or unfairly, depending on your opinion, comparing him to a certain other person that is somewhat controversial after he made a really great film in The Sixth Sense. He made a pretty good film in Unbreakable. He made an okay film in whatever else. And
Signs.
Village. We're talking about Shyamalamalan.
No.
Now tell me what you think about this.
You brought that up, and I don't see the comparison at all. I really don't. The only comparison I can see is a lot of people put a lot of pressure on Neill.
Sure.
Because of District 9 was so great and was such a great and very, very different movie, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's no District 9. Elysium is no District 9. And Chappie is no District 9. He should get away from that kind of movie. But It's unfair to like just paint him in that corner, just like M. Night Shyamalan with the Sixth Sense.
Sure.
Every movie that he did after the Sixth Sense was compared to the Sixth Sense. Well, it's not the Sixth Sense. He's gone downhill. That's the only comparison I see, is being compared to your first really good movie.
But do you think that it's fair if he got the praise for the Sixth Sense to be, fairly compared to the success of that? For if a movie's not as good, do you think it's fair to judge it against a better movie?
No, I feel like you shouldn't judge the director or actor's movie based on his past movie. They should all stand on their own.
Okay.
And I know they're only similar in the sense that it's kind of the style of the shooting, which a lot of directors have the same style of shooting.
I mean, Spielberg and all these
the
guys
color
do.
schemes and all that. And,
Wes Anderson.
Yeah. They should all stand on their own, and I don't think that Elysium is like District 9, or Chappie is like District 9, or Chappie is like Elysium.
Well, I mean, they
kind of look the same just because of the setting. That's really it.
Well, they're all in the like slummy areas of Johannesburg and South Africa, and that's just all movies in America aren't the same either.
Right.
You're right. I mean, I think you said that very well, but I think you made a good point to me before we recorded about M. Night Shyamalan. His issue was that he was constantly chasing the twist.
Chasing the twist, absolutely.
And that's his fault because, he got known for the twist.
Yeah.
And then he became this guy who's, it's about the twist.
Right.
And it shouldn't matter. You shouldn't compartmentalize yourself into something like that.
Right.
But anyway, I don't think that this is a fair comparison. This guy's got, 3 major movies right now. I thought District 9 was excellent.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Elysium. It wasn't the greatest movie ever.
Sure.
I think that this was better than Elysium. Elysium. I think this was better.
Yeah, I mean, he's had 3 movies, and none of them were disasters. Like, I know you see Chappie.
Right.
What was it, 17%? I forget what we said already.
It was 32%.
It's no disaster. And M. Night Shyamalan has had some disasters in his catalog, so...
And I think all of these are better than all of M. Night Shyamalan's movies.
Sure.
So, except for The Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense overrated, though. Sixth Sense overrated.
It is overrated, but maybe that's time.
Yep.
So, let's just jump right into the movie. We typically break this down by plot and all this stuff, but maybe we shouldn't because we were saying that we're not going to give spoilers. Yeah. So let's just talk about groupings of people. And we've got, Dion, played by Dev Patel.
Uh-huh.
We've got Hugh Jackman, Vincent, and the Moose, which we put into the title of the section. But I guess... Theoretically, I mean, in this movie, Dev Patel is this creator that creates all kinds of robots. He creates this police force and everything. And you've got Vincent, played by Hugh Jackman, who is this other creator, rival creator, more of a meathead.
Yeah.
Ex-military.
Ex-military man. They're both like high-level engineers, very brilliant men, both developing androids to help bolster the police force. One is very much like the Hugh Jackman, his name is the Moose. The droid is the Moose. It's this huge war machine, for lack of a better word.
Looks like something out of RoboCop.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Whereas Dev Patel's character develops the Chappie-like police droids that are completely controlled by... I mean, they're not sentient in any way, but they have a mission to do, and they follow through on it. They have AI, yeah. And there's like a whole force of them, a whole SWAT team of them, if you will.
So let me ask you, who, in your mind, is the better creator, and why?
Well, I'm going to say Dion, Dev Patel, is the better creator because he created the machines that actually go out on the missions. He won over the boss, so to speak.
And but were his machines better?
I think they were. I mean, because they get to go in ahead. They're kind of like the front line of any raid. It probably completely or almost 100% diminishes police fatalities, and they're kind of foolproof as far as they're not going to turn on humans, so it's not like there's no way they're going to...
unless you have a secret key that looks like a Logitech USB thing.
Right, but
for your mouse.
But that key is needed just as well for the Moose.
That's true, too.
And as far as one big war machine, you don't need that when you're busting down a little weed rig drug raid. You don't need the big guns.
But why can't you have both? I mean, these bad guys, as we see from the only guy in the movie, they got subtitles. Yeah. And I could understand him just as well as everybody else. I mean, to be honest, I could barely understand what the hell Ninja was saying. And we had subtitles for the warlord, Ninja's like overlord guy, who probably talked more clearly than Ninja himself. But we got subtitles on him. Thanks, Neil. Neill.
You can't have both because in the real business world, it's not cost effective. It's either one or the other. You can't have both running around there.
He was the boss. He paid for his own subtitles.
And I also thought it was kind of strange. Not strange, but it's a little stereotypical that you have Dev Patel, who's like 120 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
He's kind of like portrayed as like a soft-spoken, weakling, nerdy geek. So he's trying to create a robot with self-consciousness. Turns out to be Chappie. On the other end of the spectrum, you got the other engineer with the big guns, military background.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman. He's jacked up. He's got guns in the office. He's got the mullet. He's got everything. And he's high-tempered. And he's got this big freaking missile-launching beast called the Moose. It's very obvious. It's very stereotypical from one or the other.
I felt like Dev Patel was not in this enough.
Yeah.
I think he's a great actor. I really enjoyed him in this movie. And I felt like, it could have used a little bit more Dev or Dion, as Chappie would say. But do you think that Huge was a bad guy? Do you think he was a bad dude, or was he just trying to get recognition for the fact that he made something and they were just completely ignoring him?
He really believed that what he was making was for the betterment of his country. You know what I mean?
Now, if he's a military guy, why the hell wouldn't he just try to sell that to the military? I mean, and I feel like the CEO, Dana Barrett, or Ripley, she was played by
Sigourney Weaver,
of course. If
it's
you
Dana
didn't catch our references
it's Dana
here.
Barrett.
So Dana Barrett, also known as the Gatekeeper, she was kind of a crappy CEO, I feel, for this movie. Not the actress. I mean, the CEO, the actual CEO.
Sure.
Like, I don't think I'd buy stock in that company because I didn't believe in her. She should have been selling this stuff to the military. I mean, they had some good opportunities for global expansion here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the regulatory rules are in this country.
She was worried about, once she found out that Dion had made this program to develop consciousness in a robot, she knew that was dangerous.
But what about the Moose? I mean, the thing about the Moose, and I'll say this, it requires a human to operate it. Whereas you're messing around with robots here that think on their own, even though there's a key that's locked away in one door, that the security's pretty bad too. Yeah. It's kind of like 24 security here.
A little bit like 24. Yeah.
Dion's a fugitive on the loose from this company, and they don't deactivate his badge that allows him to get back in the building. That's the first thing you do at my company.
I know, but when you're looking at dollars and cents, if you're a CEO of a company, you can't have how much money does each robot cost, and then behind that robot, you got to pay a full-time salaried cop to pilot this thing. So it's like double the money. You just can't have that.
This is true.
So,
but I kind of like the Moose. I felt like Huge didn't get a fair shake.
No.
I
think he was a dick and he deserved everything he got. Right?
Yeah, his machine got effed up a little bit, but we're not going to get into that.
I mean, he gets his ups and downs in this movie as well. So he does win out a little bit, loses out a little bit, and in the third act, you'll see what happens.
My favorite scene of the whole movie, without giving anything away, is the part where he has the gun in the office and he threatens Dion.
Oh yeah,
and he pulls the trigger, and obviously it's not loaded. And let's be serious. If you're listening to this, you probably already saw this. If you didn't, we're not going to tell you what happens in the end, but that scene was awesome. And he kind of makes a joke about what the hell am I going to have a loaded gun in the office? Meanwhile, he's got it in his belt the whole time, which is hilarious.
He's just he doesn't get enough credit for his comedic timing.
I feel like he's pretty good. He's too much casted as Wolverine. So he's also got a sweet ass mullet in this too, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But the stars of this show, Die Antwoord. I don't know how to say it.
I think that's pretty good.
I don't know. I'm not.
Die Antwoord.
I don't know.
Der Antwoord.
Der Antwoord.
If you're from America.
Yeah. Der Antwoord. There's too many O's in that.
Yeah.
There's too many O's in that.
Ninja and Yolandi.
The two scummiest looking people in the movie, so committed to the role that I believe that they were actors dressed as scumbags.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't believe that they were actors. I didn't believe they were real, like that's their real look.
Yeah, you thought they were in makeup and hair.
I was like, man, these guys are good. I never seen them before.
And all that with some of the scumbag clothes they were wearing.
It's actually
really
not
them.
so much her.
Yeah.
It's more him. Because that haircut, man, he has the dreaded combination of the rat tail mullet.
Yeah, well, I think they were a little bit more of a caricature of their on-screen rap persona, but yeah, it did seem like Yolandi needed a shower in that movie.
Yeah.
So
her hair was a little ashy. It was like white.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, she doesn't look like that in real life, or I say in real life in quotes.
She's got the haircut.
The rat persona, if you will. But in the movie, yeah, take a shower. So yeah, basically, the plot of the movie runs through as such. They owe this huge kingpin that's more badass and more cool and gangsta than them.
Cool.
He gives them the crazy deadline of, I need $20 million in 7 days or you're dead. All of you, you're dead. I'm going to kill you. And they're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We need $20 million. We can't make $20 million. He's going to kill us. So they know about these police droids because they got their last drug deal was raided by these police droids. So they get the bright idea. We got 7 days. There's nothing else we can do, but let's just steal a droid and turn it off and reprogram it. Never mind the fact that they don't know how to reprogram a droid. Step 1 is get robot, all right?
Yeah.
So they execute step 1. They go to the facility with, obviously there's no gated community. There's no barbed wire fence. They just roll up near the doors.
Get on it, Dana Barrett.
Yeah.
Get on it, Dana
So
Barrett.
they kidnap Dev Patel, and this Chappie robot, and this robot, the police droid that was broken, that he was going to put the, for lack of a better word, the consciousness into him.
He created a new program
Yes.
that was like a super Johnny Five type where he could think on his own, and he knew that this was going to be it's a neural net processor, a learning computer.
Yeah.
I hate to quote Terminator here, but you know,
best
we're
way
on
to
the
say
robot
it.
train.
Yeah.
But the best part is, how did they know that he was the guy? They like went and Googled like robotics.
They just got lucky. They got lucky. So they got lucky, and it was like wrong place, right time. Dev Patel character, he was going to take this robot to his home, and he was going to give it the consciousness that he wanted. Like, he was going to make the robot alive. He couldn't do it at work because it was illegal. So I'm going to do it. It's important for humankind. I'm going to do this. The 3 idiots go in there, they steal it, the right place, right time, and boom, bang, boom.
But they knew they were looking
the
for him because
program.
they saw his picture online on like some article.
Look, they're mastermind criminals, all right? That's one thing they know is how to find people.
Again, this falls back on the CEO of that company.
Yeah.
If your dude is like mastermind of this, you better have a security tail on him. Like keep some guards on him, you know?
Right.
Like he's just riding home.
All right, but enough about the plot. I mean, we know it's crazy. However happens. What about the wardrobe of these people and this hair?
I
the
couldn't
look of these people.
I'm telling you, it comes back to the hairstyle, man. And
Die
I'm not
Antwoord.
trying to be insensitive here. I'm not trying to be.
I think you're doing a little bit of get off my lawn. You're about to spit on me right now.
Listen, I'm old now. Okay, yeah. I feel like I've turned that corner where I can say, "What the hell is up with this?" But that guy's older than me. He's 40. What kind of 40-year-old has that haircut?
He's not 40. If you're in the rap game, 40 is like 25. All right.
Oh man,
I'm telling you, these people they live forever. All right.
Now, does he know what he's doing, or is he trying to be extreme and just like be edgy? Is that like the equivalent of the meat dress that Lady Gaga wears?
He's peacocking, is what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's peacocking.
Is he amogging?
He's not. He's amogging. He's sniper nagging, but he's more than anything, he's peacocking. So
the neon colors,
yeah, their guns are like neon yellow and pink and green.
So the stuff they were shooting, they had these like neon pink and like all Easter looking colors, like glass bottles. Did they take the time to paint every single one of those to shoot it?
Of course they did. You can't just
that's
shoot
cool
a Budweiser.
and gangsta.
You can't just shoot a Budweiser.
What was their internet setup in this place? I mean, they're using a computer in like a blown out warehouse.
Look, they had some pretty badass.
They got the satellite.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, at one point Chappie brings back 15 PS4s and he networks them together into like a the SETI thing where they're searching for extraterrestrials.
Maybe their connection was poor, but Chappie knew how to make it better.
He's like, they got a T3 over there.
That's a deleted scene.
We gotta
Chappie
call
made
up
their internet
Neill.
better. Set up some satellites somewhere.
Got to call up Neill
He
and
hacked
ask
some
him.
shit. I don't know.
What about Ninja? Okay, as a person. Now, I'm kind of taking this guy to task here. But I read something online.
Yes.
I read an article that was sent to us from a friend named Jeremy. Kind of said that this guy had some problems on set. Now, there were some things that said that this dude was telling actors like Hugh Jackman how to act.
That's like a rookie, first year in the league, just drafted, telling Michael Jordan how to run a pick and roll. That's the same thing. You're going to tell Hugh Jackman how to act in a scene?
You're going to tell Wolverine how to act?
Wolverine knows how to act. He's done 6 of them. He knows how to act.
He was in Les Mis, man.
Yeah.
He knows how to act. He's an actor.
So, apparently he was just this big nightmare on the set. I don't know if he was acting it up for his character or if it was just the way maybe this guy's just a dick. That's the way he rolls. I don't know.
He looks like a jerk.
But apparently this guy was just running a fool throughout the whole set, telling people what they didn't need to hear. Was a nightmare for the writers, was a nightmare for the director. And the director almost said as much.
Do you think that this affected the quality of the film?
I don't think so, because I think you truck on, and I think after a while, I feel like it's one ear out the other with these kind of guys. I feel like in life, you deal with people like that, you tend to learn how to deal with them.
Yeah, but I mean, your third film, you've dealt with people that you liked. I mean, I'm sure he dealt with some people he didn't like.
Yeah.
But if this is like his big deal now, he came off the critical disappointment that Elysium was.
Needs to get this one
going.
And
he's got to get this one going. This is like, I'm going to prove to everybody I'm not a one-hit wonder.
He doesn't need these kind of distractions.
Right. And I read something, too, that they rewrote scenes that he was in.
Allegedly.
Yeah. There was a alleged situation where, Jackman didn't want to be in a scene with him. This is all alleged. No proof. But that was said, so they rewrote some things. And I don't know if that affected the movie, but I just wonder if he got so tired by the end, he's just like, I want to be done with this thing.
Maybe he kind of moved it along. Now, in order to fix this, remedy this kind of situation, who would you put in his place? How do we recast this thing? We
got to bring in a professional.
Yeah.
We got to bring in a hired gun. Let's get Ninja out of there.
But he has to be a scumbag, though. Now, for the scumbag character.
I went on and I did some research.
Did you Google scumbags?
My Google search was scumbag actors. Actors that look like scumbags, okay? And, we got some of the usual suspects. But I was a little taken aback by this one IMDb list that was created. It was called like List of Scumbag Actors.
List of Scumbag Actors, right.
Now, I didn't know what their definition of scumbag was. See, when I think of scumbag, I'm talking about like dirty looking, not like a less of a character person, someone who's not very nice.
Okay. I think of it as both.
You think of both?
I think it's an asshole who is also dirty.
Yeah, and you once had told me that, like your worst insult.
Yeah.
You would rather be called a than be called a scumbag.
Exactly. 100%.
Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, it's a terrible thing to call somebody, but it's deserved if you're an asshole, if the shoe fits, basically.
If the shoe fits.
Asshole plus dirty looking equals scumbag. Go on.
Well, the list of scumbags that I was a little surprised by, okay? We've got Alec Baldwin. Now, I guess I could see somebody thinking he's a scumbag because of those voicemails, but he doesn't look dirty.
He's just an asshole.
He doesn't look like dirty, you know? What about Tom Cruise? I mean, he's a Scientologist.
He's not even that bad a guy. All right?
Yeah, I mean, he makes good movies, so we can forgive
this list
him.
is gone. This list is out of here.
We can forgive him for yelling at Matt Lauer.
Yeah.
Got Jerry Springer. He's kind of a scumbag.
He deals with scumbags. Doesn't make him a scumbag.
He's a scumbag broker.
Yeah.
And then they had Bono, which, he does some good charity work. I don't really love him.
That's egregious. I don't even like Bono, and that's just egregious.
But anyway, my recast, okay? I put together some names. The first name that came to mind was, and we've said this name all the time, Merle. Michael Rooker.
Merle from Walking Dead.
He could instantly save this movie. He's got acting chops. He's pretty good. Not to say that Ninja was so bad. I actually thought he was a good actor. But I'm saying if we want to save Neill Blomkamp,
if you want to create a good locker room presence with the actors in there.
Bring in a veteran.
Yeah, bring in a vet to clear out the locker room.
Nick Cage, but...
Merle's too old, by the way. Too old looking.
What about Nick Cage? We can put him in anything.
Nick Cage isn't scumbaggy enough to play the scumbag
What
role.
about, but what about Cameron Poe hair?
Yeah, no, I can't. I just can't do it. He's not scumbag. He's too smooth.
Now, I know that Nick Cage has had a lot of crazy hairstyles, but could you imagine him having the hairstyle that Ninja has?
The hair he could pull off.
He could rock that hairstyle.
He could pull off any hair.
What about Charlie Hunnam, Jack Teller himself?
Charlie Hunnam, he's very proper.
He's kind of scumbaggy, though.
He's Jack Teller from Sons of Anarchy, so he can play that kind of role.
He's played a scumbag.
But even in that role, there's an air of dignity to him, where he kills about 100 people in that show per season, but he feels bad about it. He feels bad.
I guess he cries a little bit.
Yeah, he's very sensitive. He loves his kids, kind of. So I don't see that.
What about out of the furnace, Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson, I do see. He may be a little long in the tooth for that role, but he could definitely pull off the backwoods scumbag kind of almost
scumbag
inbred sounding look.
Don't they call him that? Yeah. In the movie, they say, "Oh, those scumbag inbreds from Jersey."
Yeah, the from the Out of the Furnace crew. Yeah,
I never knew a place in Jersey that looked like that. Well, I mean, we live in PA, so we're next to Jersey.
The town took very much offense to it, but
I don't know where that was. But
in any event, the fail-safe is Christian Bale.
Well, that's the ultimate professional.
You get the pro in there. Not only is this movie better, is the morale better. I know he had a dust-up or two in the past with some DPs, but
Dust up.
That's not going to happen in this movie, all right? They're professionals over there.
Are you professional or not?
Yes, I am.
Christian Bale could definitely clean up that, and he might even get you an Oscar nom.
Would you say the equivalent of a football reference, since everything's a football reference for us, is you're going to bring in Brett Favre for this one? You know, Christian Bale's like the Brett Favre. Like, bring him in, you know.
Yeah, let's bring him in, yeah.
He's on the Jets.
We'll sign him.
Maybe he's on the Vikings.
Yeah. He said he's on vacation, but we'll bring him in.
He'll get you 10 wins.
He'll do it. They'll turn it into a moneymaker. All right, so let's talk about Chappie for a little bit here. We'll get into him hardcore in the robot list later on, but do you think he was in it enough? Because I think that was the main problem that we both had with the movie. Was Chappie in it enough?
If you got a movie called Chappie better be the main actor here.
Yeah, but he drove all the action. I guess you don't have to have the screen time to be in the movie, to be named in the movie.
I thought it was sufficient.
You did?
But give me more Chappie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care if there was no one else in this movie and it was just him walking around doing funny stuff.
Right. I mean, but that's called Short Circuit 3.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's what I really want. Maybe we just should start a Kickstarter.
I would love Short Circuit 3 starring Chappie.
Do you think the white guy that played the Indian guy is still around? Is he doing anything? I think he does voice acting.
I will totally admit to you that I thought the Indian guy, who's clearly not Indian now, when I was a kid, I totally bought it. Totally thought
I'm
he was
pretty sure
Indian.
he was one of the Goombas from Super Mario Brothers, the live action Super Mario Brothers.
Get back on track here.
Anyway,
back to Chappie. I don't think he was in it enough. I think those were the best scenes, even emotionally, when he was being mothered by Yolandi, taught by his creator, Dion, and even manipulated by Ninja in America. We didn't talk about America, but America is their Mexican friend.
Yeah, he's like a Mexican gangster that's from America that sounds like he's trying to get back home to America.
I think that's why he wants the money, yeah.
But I'll say who wasn't in it enough.
What?
Dion, like I said before.
Yeah.
I think Chappie and Dion, the scenes of them together were
touching.
not enough.
Very touching.
I wish the creator and creation were together more.
It was a total father-son thing when they were together.
Absolutely.
And it was very nice, the few scenes that they were in where he was actually teaching Chappie. It was very nice.
You kind of feel the heartbreak of Dion because they're not together enough.
Yeah. He knows that Yolandi and Ninja are corrupting this poor creature who is basically a child. And it breaks his heart because it's such a special moment. And it drives him crazy that these two people don't understand how amazing this is for mankind that this thing exists right now.
It's kind of a commentary on bad parenting, too, isn't it? It is. Where you've got people that are just not equipped to have kids. Or maybe again, it's another football analogy. I got a kid. What can I do? I'll make him a football player so he can make me money.
Yeah.
You know, like parents that kind of whore their kids out, which is kind of sad. But I feel like this is kind of like one of those situations where you see these guys that are using it for personal gain.
I wonder if that's intentional. I wonder if that's
might
intentional.
Have been. We'll have to check the deleted behind the scenes on the DVD when it comes out.
Well, speaking of corrupting your young robot, what if you had Chappie? What if Chappie was dropped on your doorstep with blank slate? You can teach him anything you want. Like, what kind of robot would you make Chappie to be?
Now, first off, I would treat him as I would treat a brother.
A brother?
Or a son.
A son.
Or a friend. I would treat him just as good as I treat you.
So you would treat him an equal?
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay. Because the level of intelligence, now, if you're telling me that he's as intelligent as the movie told me,
yes,
you know, then I'm definitely going to treat him that way. Because he was funny. I mean, this guy's got it all. He's funny. He looks cool.
Yeah.
He acts cool.
Acts cool.
And, you know, I did enjoy him. And I thought he's smart. Maybe I'd use him to play some video games with. Maybe we could hang out. I would, you know, if I have to go to work, maybe I could give him a job. He could be my stockbroker. Because if he can learn all the ways of the internet, he can learn everything. He can help me do my investments, maybe my taxes.
Let me
as
ask
a
you
job,
this.
I'd pay him.
To borrow from South Park, is he a pleasure robot?
Not for me. Maybe for you.
Hey, man.
Not for me.
Only if he wants to. No.
That metal's cold, man.
But it leads me to this question. If we're going to treat him like a human, and he's basically a human. I know he's not a human. If you're going to have him do your taxes and do stuff for you when you're at work, are you going to pay him?
Yeah, I definitely
Is he an employee? You know what I mean? Or there's a fine line between friend and kind of like slave indentured servant with this robot.
I think, but I would treat him as a friend. You know, he could help me out with those things. But
if he
I would
says
also
no?
Well, then I wouldn't make him do it.
You wouldn't make him do it?
No, I wouldn't make him do it.
All right.
But, you know, maybe that's stupid on my part.
But then he moves out. Then where does he go?
Oh,
What if you have a fight?
Listen, if he gets another roommate or something, then I'm going to be upset.
yeah.
You know, if he goes and
You're his master. You're his creator.
yeah, but I feel like we would be good enough friends that I wouldn't.
Look, you're not ready
cause
for
him to do
parenthood
that.
there, buddy. There's a fine line between parent, creator, and buddy, and you want it all, and you can't have it all in this world, all right?
But anyway, there's one last point I want to make about this movie before we move on to our next segment, if you will. I read something that Neill wanted this to be a trilogy. Now, without giving away the ending or anything like that, you know, do you think this could work as a trilogy? Do you think? Let me ask you this: do you think another one's going to get made after the critical reception?
I don't think so, and I guess that's not fair in a way. Well, I guess it is fair because if the people don't want it, you should make it.
Yeah,
but
there's been worse movies.
The way the story goes, and the way the movie plays out as constructed, I don't see 3 movies out of this. I feel like it would be stretched way too thin with number 2. I feel like 1 is fine right where it is, and the less sequels, the better, and I think that's the rule in most movie franchises.
Doesn't it seem like he wants to make a trilogy out of everything? Didn't they say they wanted to make District 9 trilogy? Yeah,
but that might not be him. Who said? Does he say it?
I thought
do people say it for him?
I mean,
you know
I'm not on the line with this guy. I don't have his phone number. I can't ask him.
They is very knowledgeable. There's a lot of theys out there. They said that he wants to make a trilogy. Who is they?
They said Ninja was a jerk.
Yeah, there's a lot of theys out there. So I don't know who to believe and what quotes to believe and not. You know what I mean?
I think it could work as a trilogy. I mean,
you do?
Am I going to go rush to see the second one? Probably not.
I probably will.
I would enjoy it. I mean, listen, I just like robot movies.
Got a robot.
I like any movie with a robot in it. I think it's funny. It was a good movie. All said and done, I did enjoy it. I know I've been a little critical of it and some of the actors in it, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good film. I feel like most people would enjoy it if they ignore what they read on Rotten Tomatoes and all these other sites. Now, the reviews that we read at the top of the show, I do think they had some validity to them. I mean, I think that they try to do a lot in this movie. But if you just sit back and watch it, maybe it should have come out in the summer. Because then people would say, oh, it's just a summer popcorn flick. Yeah, and they wouldn't judge it so hard.
Yeah, it doesn't get as much flack, if you will.
These types of movies come out in the summer all the time, and they get no flack. It's just like, oh, it's a fun popcorn flick. It's an action movie. You know, so maybe to that degree, it's not fair. But anyway, I've gone on for long enough. I enjoyed it. I think people should watch it. Judge it for yourself, and then you can let us know what you think.
Sure, yeah. Just don't let people tell you that it sucks without you watching it yourself, because I do think it's worth a watch. Moving on. So let's get on to part 2 of this robot epic right here. We're going to give you the definitive last row bot list.
Attractive. Nice software.
Boy, you sure don't talk like a machine.
Alive, Stephanie. Number 5 alive.
My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
I hate pancakes.
I know, so do I.
Kumar.
So what we did is here, we made a list, the top 10 list of robots based on 5 categories. 1 strength, 2 intelligence, 3 wit, 4 trust, and 5 beauty.
That's right, we said beauty.
All 5 categories were scored on a scale of 1 to 10. Highest cumulative score gives you the ranking on the list. Now, we're not talking about favorites. We kind of left our hearts at the doorstep on this one. We went pure logic like a true robot would. So we judged them fairly and harshly on these 5 categories. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Strength for brute force, intelligence for computing knowledge, whether programmed or not. Wit, based on the humor of the robot, as well as a little bit of...
it's like the personality.
Yeah, the personality, if you will. 4, trust. Can the human world trust this robot on a scale of 1 to 10? And 5, beauty. How hot is this robot? Hot or not? In the looks department.
And that's we mean exactly what he just said.
Yes. Does Chappie's ass really look good in those jeans? I don't know. Let's find out.
In those chaps, those assless chaps.
So a lot of. So we got a little breakdown of every robot as we go. Top 10 list. There are a few that missed the cut, so to speak, such as C-3PO, who I think is the worst ever.
You're a hater, dude.
The little kid Daryl, Bicentennial Man Robin Williams,
one of my favorite robots.
God rest his soul. Bicentennial Man and Robin Williams. And the list goes on. There's people that were just Paulie, Paulie's robot sicko from Rocky IV, which is a personal favorite of mine. But let's get into the nitty gritty, the top 10. Some of these facts were based on the Robot Supremacy Wikia.
There's a wiki for everything.
Yes, there is. So I found the Robot Supremacy Wikia, which is a database for all things robots in movies, TV, and music. So have fun at that if you ever want to check that out.
Did you check out the website? You were pulling some of these from
I
there?
did check the website out, and I was a little disappointed about the lack of obscure robots. Like, for example, not to give anything away, but I tried to look up a Wafflebot.
Yeah.
The robot from Harold and Kumar.
It's not on there.
It's not on the Robot Wikia. Like, how could you... Like,
Man.
what's up with that? You gotta have every robot.
I said this last week on the Villains Wikia. We need to make an account. We need to start inputting some of these robots. There's a lot of great people on the internet that contribute to these databases.
Yeah.
It's now our turn.
See, this one's a little bit lacking. I feel like... I remember the one time you tried to edit something on the 24 Wikia, and it was erased within, 10 minutes.
They edited me out.
Yeah, so-
I try to help something.
Yeah. So I feel like this website would really, really enjoy your contribution.
I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the Dobson override device.
It certainly did.
It was the drone override device that Margot Al-Harazi made or something like that.
All right, 24 geekdom aside, we can go on that for days.
Yeah.
Drew, why don't you hit us with number 10?
All right, number
Top
10.
Number 10 on the list.
Number 10 is Evil Bill and Ted from the second Bill and Ted movie.
Dude, what? I got a full-on robot chubby. Later, Evil Ted.
So from the Villains Wiki, they are programmed with the same personality as the original Bill and Ted, except they are outright evil.
Outright.
Their mission is to kill Bill and Ted, take over and ruin their lives, then give the speech they were going to give at the San Dimas Battle of the Bands. But totally different. They use the phone booth to go back in time. Rufus tried to stop them with a grappling hook shaped like a guitar, but wound up lost in the circuits of time. What should we talk about the score here? I'll give you what we...
First of all, I think it's a bit of an upset that they made it to number 10. I'm glad they made it in the list. So what stands out for them?
So their strength, we have rated at a 6. 6 out of 10.
So
how do you feel about that?
So it's slightly above strong human average is a 6, I feel, right?
Yeah.
So they don't do anything spectacular, but yes, they are strong.
They have robotic skeletons.
Yes,
but
that's big. That's strong enough.
Yeah. Intelligence, they've got intelligence equal to Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Which would be a 1, but since they're robots, we'll give them a plus 1. So we'll give them a 2.
Bill and Ted plus 1. Yeah.
They're kind of funny because Bill and Ted are funny, so we'll give them a 7 for
They're the
wit.
same personalities until they turn totally evil.
Yeah, they're kind of funny.
Yeah.
Trust is definitely just a 1 because they're totally evil.
Yeah, you can't trust them.
And beauty, I don't know. I mean,
beauty's in the eye of the beholder, Drew.
Do you find, Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves attractive?
Here's the thing. The ladies would agree. Keanu gets a 10 for beauty, but Alex Winter drops it down to 5, does he not?
Alex Winter's a nice guy,
That's
you know?
harsh.
I mean...
Harsh but fair.
So that gives them a total of 21.
So a 21 out of 50, which is not a hot score.
Puts them at spot 10.
But it put him in the top 10, though. Not bad.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. So coming in at number 9, we have Wall-E.
Eva. Eva. Oh. Eva.
Wall-E.
Wall-E from the movie. What's the name of the movie?
I think it's called Wall-E?
Wall-E. Okay, good. So Wall-E is a, quote, cleanup robot who developed sentience after 700 years of cleaning up Earth on his own. So basically all the robots were there to clean up Earth as the humans fled Earth because it was no longer inhabitable. And all the robots got shut down except for Wall-E mistakenly was left alive. And for 700 years, he continued to do his job and clean up. And over time, he developed personality, developed sentience.
Can we give him a 10 for patience?
It's clearly
700 years is a damn long time.
I mean, he's collected robots. His best friend is a roach.
Does
It's
he
kind of
get a
sad.
paycheck?
It's kind of sad until Eva shows up.
Kind of messed up.
So let's get right into the scores. Strength, it's a 1 because he's a little weakling.
Picks up garbage.
You ever see his arms?
Yeah, they're pretty.
He can crush the hell out of you. All you have to do is just don't put your hand near the contraption, and you'll be
The
fine.
one little pincher thing.
Intelligence is a 3. He's kind of a knucklehead. He has no idea he's very oblivious to a lot of things around him.
He's good at picking up garbage and loving.
Yeah, again, I'm not going to disparage garbage men and waste disposal people, if you will, in the waste management business. Yes, but he's like well below them. So we got a 3 for him. Wit is 7, even though he only knows like 1 or 2 words. He knows Wall-E and Eva. Those are the only words he knows. Still, I feel like he's very funny. Like he's got the great mannerisms.
He's pretty witty. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. Trust, you got a 9 because you look into his eyes and it's pure love. You know that you said, like I said, 700 years, Nobody's watching him anymore. He could have screwed off and not done his job.
Still picking up your garbage.
Still picking up the garbage. That's a 9. Beauty, 10.
You're going 10 for beauty?
Friggin' adorable.
All right, look, he's cute.
He's got the
I'm
eyes.
not sure I'd go a 10 on that.
He's got the little stout square body.
I'm not sure I would go all the way
He's
to
got
10.
the Johnny 5 roller legs going on.
Yeah.
A little bit of a mini Johnny 5, if you will.
Would you say they stole a little bit from Johnny 5?
I think it was a heartfelt borrow. So total score brings it to 30, a full 9 points better than Bill and Ted. So for number 8, continuing in the small robot category, we're going to Wafflebot.
Kumar and Wafflebot, brims for Amber.
Oh, no doubt, Wafflebot.
I love you, Kumar.
I love you too, little guy.
Harold and Kumar Christmas Special Edition 3D extravaganza bullshit, whatever.
That's a very underrated film.
Yes.
We were talking about, what is it, trilogies? What the heck was it? Thrices?
Thrices.
No, I sound like an old man now.
Moving on, Wafflebot.
Trilogies. It's a great movie.
It's a trilogy.
Yeah, but we were saying the third movie of a trilogy.
Ah.
No, the third movie of a trilogy.
A trilogy.
No, but the third one. Thrices.
We'll keep that in, people.
All right, yeah, well, sorry about that.
Wafflebot's a lovable robot who makes waffles. It was given to Harold and Kumar by Neil Patrick Harris.
Simple enough.
Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris treated this guy like shit.
Yeah, he kicked him. He threw stuff at him.
So he was very grateful that Harold and Kumar took him into his own. Now, Wafflebot, strength is a 2. He's puny little guy. He's about 2 foot nothing, but he's got the hot
syrup.
Maple syrup.
Yeah.
That's a little bit, that gives him a little bit of an edge. 2 for intelligence. He's just a big dummy. All he knows about is waffles. That's all he cares about. So 2 for intelligence, 7 for wit. Funny as hell. Quick with the quip.
He is pretty funny.
Hates pancakes, and he's not afraid to tell you. Trust is a 10 because he loves you internally.
Yeah, and he's just going to bring you breakfast all the time.
It's eternal love. He's always there with a waffle. When you're feeling down, he'll tell you that he loves you, and you just can't get any better from that.
And then he'll bring you a waffle.
Yeah,
with syrup on it.
And again, along with Wally, we're going 10 for beauty. Adorable little guy.
See, I can get behind that. He has a little chef's hat on.
He's got the chef's hat and the apron going on.
Now that's good.
Yeah, it's just he closes his eyes. It's a little flap. It's just it's adorable.
Let me ask you a question before we move on to the next one.
Yes.
How much would you pay to own the actual Wafflebot on thegoldencloset.com? If that was available on the Golden Closet, how much would you pay for that?
See, if it is it in working condition?
Yeah, it works. It actually
waffles?
makes waffles.
All right.
It's like an oven.
Waffle plus collector's item plus eternal love from your robot partner. I would pay $499.99 for this item.
I don't know, whether this thing would be functional or not by this point, because I feel like if whoever the Golden Closet might acquire it from, they might have waffled it out. Maybe they made too many waffles, or it's just broken.
Yeah, it's kind of like a made for TV, like an infomercial type thing. Like, how long do those things really last?
I don't think it's going to last very long.
But
so
after,
you just have to get another one.
I mean, I'm not, after it retires from its waffle making lifetime, I'll be happy to have it on my shelf, and if it's tell me that he loves me, so I'm fine. So he gets a 31, one better than Wally, and rightfully so.
I think that's accurate.
Number 7, personal favorite of mine, Sid 6.7 from Virtuosity.
I'm not a swan dive, and I have to tell you, killing for real, it was a real rush. Oh my god!
No, you told me you're not too familiar with Sid 6.7.
I've never seen this movie, and I need to watch it. We should probably do it for this show.
I nominated this guy, Sid 6.7. He is a substantial droid. See, when we say robots, we understand there's a difference between robots, androids, and cyborgs. So we're all lumping him into one category. Sid 6.7 is a sadistic, intelligent, and dangerous virtual reality entity which is synthesized from the personalities of more than 150 serial killers. Sound like a winning movie so far?
Yeah, I think it's up my alley.
Who manages to inject his personality into a nano-machine android. How ridiculous is this plot, Drew?
I think that should be like one of our next movies.
I hate to be this guy, but how did you not see this movie?
I don't know. I didn't even realize Russell Crowe's in it.
Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington in the early 90s.
Pretty awesome.
They're like little kids in this movie.
Yeah, it's definitely on HBO sometimes, but I haven't seen it.
Sid is Russell Crowe, the bad guy, wears flashy suits. He's quick-witted. He's complete murdering madman mayhem. Let's get right into the scale. I got it strength as 6. Now, you'll remember when you see the movie, there's a scene where he's in a ultimate fighting ring, and he throws a guy from
Like
the
the
top
octagon?
row into the octagon.
Really?
Yes, so he will toss your ass. Intelligence is a 10 because he has the intelligence of 150 serial killers. Most of those guys are very brilliant.
All added up.
Very flawed, but very brilliant. Wit is a 7 because he's always there. After he kills you, he'll say he'll crack jokes like Freddy Krueger. Trust is a 1 because this dude is only out for one thing, and that's mayhem, baby.
That's like an all-time low there.
Yeah. And beauty is a 9 because, damn it, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe? Why didn't you give him a 10?
Late 20s, early 30s, Russell Crowe.
So if he was like late 30s, would you give him a 10?
I think it's
like,
the mole.
Does he age better?
It's the mole, I think. It's probably what it is. Plus, he looks better with facial hair as the Spaniard in Gladiator, so you got to give him 1 less.
He's got the Caesar haircut.
So that's a 33. Strong showing at number 7. Drew.
Number 6.
Tell us number 6.
A personal favorite of mine and Steven Seagal. Lisa from Weird Science.
Oh, Lisa.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
2 desperate teens create a woman via their computer. Their living and breathing creation is a gorgeous woman named Lisa, whose purpose is to boost their confidence level by putting them into situations which require Gary and Wyatt to act like men.
Now, she's a pleasure model, right?
Yeah. She was designed as it by them, but they definitely like chickened out when if you remember the scene where they were taking a shower, they were like, "Oh, we want to go in the shower," and they were in their underwear.
See, now this is the argument that I would have here. Now, the same can be said for 6.7 too. Originally started out as a computer program, modified into a nanomachine android.
Yes,
this is the same situation, right? Now,
well,
is it fair to argue her as a robot?
Yeah, they use like a Barbie doll, and I don't know the science behind it. I'm not sure exactly what they did. I know there was some lightning involved.
Yeah, well, that's how Johnny Five got created.
Yeah, the lightning, some type of electricity overload. We're gonna call her a robot because she was on the list. So I did another Google search and I looked up for female robots.
Yes.
Now that's a dangerous Google search if you're going to type that in.
Be careful there.
Okay. The first result was actually what I needed. It was a Wikipedia list.
It was the real doll, right?
Yeah. That somebody, not that.
That
well,
was the first thing is what you needed, and then you saw.
Yeah. The list came up. It was list of, I think it was female androids and robots.
Yeah.
And she was part of this list, but the rest of the Google searches were things that you would not look at on your work computer if you want to go down that road. But anyway, we're giving her a 2 for strength. She's, she works out. She does aerobics. She's not super strong or anything, and I don't think there's any feats of super strength in the movie that I can recall.
She might be stronger than the average man, but it's on the robot scale.
We'll give her regular lady strength is like a 2 here.
Compared to other robots.
Yeah, compared to other robots. 7 for intelligence.
Sure.
She's pretty smart. I mean, she's not like, a genius.
Let me ask you, is she as smart as her creators?
I think she's smarter than them.
Smarter than them. But they taught her everything that she knows.
Well, they can do some computer programming.
I guess.
They fed in like a whole bunch of magazine articles and stuff. So that's why she was kind of like, she was up and up with the knowledge of popular culture.
Right. Okay.
She was cool. She wore some big shoulder pad suits.
Yes, she did.
She drove some, 80s supercars. But we're giving her a 7 for wit because she's pretty funny. She cracks some jokes.
Yeah.
I think she's pretty good at it.
Sure.
We're going to give her an 8 for trust because she was created for them and she has their back. She's doing all this cool stuff for them. She does make them jump out of their comfort zone.
That's the biggest key. That's what they needed. That's why
that's not why she's not getting a 10 because she's not completely trustworthy. But, she gets an 8. She was doing it for their best interest.
It's almost like she taught them tough love.
Yeah.
In a way. But that was best for them.
Exactly. And it pushed them to be better people.
Yeah.
So we'll give her finally a 10 for beauty because Kelly LeBrock is beautiful, and she married Steven Seagal, another favorite of our podcast here.
Yes.
They were a power couple back then.
Sure.
I think he may have overpowered her a couple times. Unfortunately, the cops may have been involved. Which is not a good thing at all. Kind of a jerk move.
See, that's why I gave Russell Crowe a 9.
Because he didn't beat his wife?
No, because she's a 10.
Yeah.
Well, she has to be better looking than Russell Crowe.
She is a 10. So she gets a total score of 34.
Not bad
and
at
that
all.
puts her in at number 6.
So on to 5, maybe a controversial pick. A lot of people don't like this guy. I don't think you like this guy, but he scored high.
I like the actor.
And that's David from Prometheus. David 8, to be more specific.
I understand human emotions. although I do not feel them myself. This allows me to be more efficient and capable, and makes it easier for my human counterparts to interact with me.
David is a David 8 series synthetic who served as a crew member aboard the USCSS Prometheus, whose mission on LV-223 was to search for answers about humanity's past. That via the Alien Anthology Wikipedia.
Yeah, so many good wikis out there, man. We got to make accounts on all of them.
So he comes off as kind of a jerk, but really he keeps it real is what he does.
He's just smarter than everybody. That's the problem.
Yeah. And I thought, as we'll play in the one scene, it was very poignant when the one, I forget the name of the actor, they're at the pool table and he asks him, well, why did you create me? Because I can. And he goes, how would you be, would you be disappointed if that was their answer? The people that eventually made them. It's kind of a true statement. It is very, very touching from a robot's point of view. On to the scoring, we give it strength as a 5 because I feel like he's normal robot strength. I mean, he can handle average robot feats, so it's an average robot score. Intelligence, 10? You agree with a 10?
I think he's probably the smartest person on our list from the fact that he's from the future.
Yes.
And he just knows everything that these other people don't know, especially from like 1980.
And he was programmed to understand human emotion.
Which is pretty more, it's a lot more than other robots on this list.
Right. He can't feel the emotion, but he can understand the emotion.
Yeah. So when we give 10s, it's kind of like relative to this list, right?
Sure.
So if there was other people, maybe he wouldn't get a 10.
Sure. As far as wit goes, he gets an 8 because, again, he's programmed to be witty and funny.
Super sarcastic.
Super sarcastic. Dry wit. Trust is a 5 because he has ulterior motives.
I don't trust him.
He serves kind of the people on the ship, but there's also, I forget the other guy's name in the movie.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. There's an ulterior motive to make this trip on Prometheus, so he kind of plays the fence there. And as far as beauty goes, he gets a 7 because it's like he kind of looks like he's got like a touch of gray almost going on with his blondness. He's got the wrinkles going on.
He's a chiseled face,
but yeah, he has a very beautiful face. He's very clean cut.
So he shaves.
He gets a 7 for a total combined score of 35 at number 5. Number 4, Drew. We just talked about this boy. What do we got?
It's my boy, Chappie.
Chappie.
I can't do heist. Heist is a crime. I promised.
Chappie is a police droid who is programmed as the first robot with the ability to think and feel for itself. Itself or himself? I guess it's in itself.
Itself. It's not a him.
I'm going to give him an 8 for strength because he's pretty strong. He rips open some doors. He does some pretty featful acts of strength.
Well, the one scene where he did steal the car and he completely ripped the door off, a la Arnold Schwarzenegger in Expendables 2.
He overpowered some people.
Yeah.
You know, he was able to get out of situations. He was able to jump pretty high. He's got some good strength. Intelligence is a 10 because he learns like as fast as a human would in their entire life in a day.
Right.
And he just continues to exponentially learn faster and faster.
And who knows how far that could go given the opportunity. Months, weeks, years.
Yeah. I'm giving him a 5 for wit because he's kind of funny, but it's unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know he's being funny.
It's like when a baby says something stupid.
Like a baby starts saying curse words.
Yeah.
Like they don't know that they're being funny.
Yeah.
You find them funny or I find them funny because it's like, they don't know they should be saying that.
Right.
He wasn't outright funny. He was cute, if you want to use that word, I guess. Trust is a 6 because you can trust him, but like once Ninja took care of him, he didn't really want to trust his creator anymore. He was kind of like, he was swayed.
Well, he stood by his creator Dion's morals.
Yeah, with no guns. He didn't want to use guns.
But he was always able to be manipulated by ninjas, so therefore he is kind of playing that weird balance.
He's kind of gullible, I guess, so the trust is maybe a little bit lower.
Sure.
I'm giving him a 7 for beauty because I felt like from robot designs, I loved like the handles for the eyebrows and the mouth.
Yes.
And I love like the eyes, the little LEDs for the eyes.
He's got the ears going. He's got the orange ear and arm on the same side, which is really badass looking.
I loved that when they did that in the beginning. I was like, all right, that's got to be him because they differentiated him when they gave him the different antenna. I love the antennas. I thought it looked awesome. Yeah. I love the design of him.
Very, very well.
So I thought he was really good. Yeah. So that adds him up to a 36, which puts him in the 4 spot.
36 out of 50. So we got no knockouts here. I mean, everybody's got a weakness and a strength.
Yeah.
Rolling on to number 3, a personal favorite of mine, and if we're going by heart alone, this guy would be number 1 with a bullet. Number Johnny 5.
Dead. Disassemble. Dead.
Hey, slow down!
No disassemble.
Where are you going?
Number Johnny 5 from the Short Circuit fame is a robotic main character of the Short Circuit films. He was designed by shut-in computer genius Newton Crosby and built by the Nova Robotics Corporation as part of their SAINT, S-A-I-N-T, mobile weapons project.
So many acronyms.
Yes. Though created to be an instrument of war, Number 5's destiny changed forever after he was struck by a lightning bolt and developed self-awareness. Is that how lightning works, Drew?
There's that damn lightning again.
Is that how lightning works?
I'm going to go outside and try it.
Perpetually hungry for new input, Number 5 later took the name Johnny 5 and ventured out into the world. Johnny 5 is so damn adorable.
I'm surprised that, when we were scoring this, he didn't come up with number 1.
I wanted my own Johnny 5. Like, I wanted, there were no toys of him.
Why didn't they make that?
I mean, maybe there were, but I didn't certainly, I knew about him after it was hot, kind of, so it was being played on TV.
Who owns Johnny 5 right now? Who owns, how about the gold one? At the end of the second
gold
one?
At the end of the second one.
Michael McKean,
so
that one? Who owns that guy? That's got to be maybe it's in the Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas or something.
People say, what would you do if you won the lottery? That's what I would do.
You would buy the gold Johnny 5?
Golden Johnny 5, even if it cost me $1 million.
It is one of the coolest looking robots, I think, from just design standpoint. Yeah. And at that time, the movie was pretty awesome. I loved that movie growing up. 1 and 2. I know 2's not that great, but
I watch it. Every time it's on, I watch it.
When he turns into the gang member, it's one of my favorite parts of any movie. We should do that movie sometime.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the scale here. Number 3, Johnny 5. Strength, he gets a 6. He can lift you up over his head. He can lift 2 people up over his head. He can pull doors. I've seen him lift a car. He can do some shit. But he's not overly strength. It's not, he's not going to bust your world up, for lack of a better word. Intelligence, he gets a 7. Craves input. He's kind of like Good Will Hunting in a way.
Yeah.
He's kind of got, what do you call that? Not a savant, but a
yeah, he's like a savant, right?
Maybe call it a savant. Fast reader. Everything he absorbs whatever he sees.
Knows everything after reading it.
Sure. Wit, he gets a 10. Quick with the joke, Johnny 5.
Super funny.
And he knows when he's being funny too. So it's not just dumb funny.
I like when he does wheelies too. He's doing the wheelie.
See, everything about him is funny.
So awesome.
It's all one big joke.
Was there a guy with a remote control operating him, or was it who was the operator of Johnny 5? And if you got it, does it come with the remote control?
Oh my God, the remote control of Johnny 5. It's got to be 70 buttons.
Yeah.
I'd like to think it's a Sega controller.
With only 3 buttons.
Yeah, 3 buttons.
Not the 6-button controller.
No, not the turbo Sega. Yeah. And you got a 9 for trust, because you walk down the street, and the second one, he's just walking down New York City. People are high-fiving him.
Are you subtracting the 1 from the 10 because he became a gang member for a little bit?
He did become a gang member. And
he was gullible about it.
And he did steal some jewels because he got roped into it.
He did it.
So it's not his fault. So he gets a 9, 1 point docked. And beauty, he gets a 5, because let's admit, he's aged a little bit. I know he still looks cool to me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of 80s kind of tape recorder, metallic, just remote control antenna type stuff that maybe flew in the late 80s
His
or
battery
90s.
was like a car battery.
Yeah.
It's so big.
I think, please don't remake this movie, but there's a few small upgrades we can do.
Listen, it's coming.
To get his
They're going to
up a little
remake
higher.
that. They're going to remake that.
So he gets a 37 total score, 37 out of 50. Not quite as high as our number 2 man.
Number 2, also known as R2, R2D2. One of my personal favorites, an industrial did you pull this from the wiki?
That's legit. You must not be a big Star Wars fan.
I can't even read this. Automastometrotech droid. I'm not even going to try that.
He's a droid.
Sorry, I like Star Wars, but I'm not. Wow. Automastronotech droid, whatever, from the Star Wars universe. Astromech. Wait, there's 2 words here. I'm an idiot. Anyway, as an astromech, R2 is designed to facilitate starship maintenance and repairs.
Listen, Drew, I pulled that from the Robot Supremacy Wiki. Maybe you're not cut out for that website.
Listen, I'm going to go make an edit after this episode.
You must not be cut out for that.
We need some phonetics on that, because whoever wrote that, I think they made a couple typos, man.
Input error.
Yeah. Well, let's go to Robot Supremacy Wiki after this episode and make a couple edits here. So anyway.
I'm not a big Star Wars fan. You're the big Star Wars fan of the two of us.
Yeah, I do like Star Wars, but I'll admit I had no idea how the hell to say that.
Well, who cares, really?
So right into the scoring, I'm going to be dead serious and just say that he gets a 1 for strength because he is not strong at all.
He's
got 3 wheels, you know, if he kind of tips over, he has a little thing that helps push him back up.
You could bully the hell out of him.
But you could tip him over. Yeah. You know how people go cow tipping? You could go droid tipping, and I think you could knock him over. Intelligence, this dude is off the charts. He's getting a 10. He knows everything about anything.
You can't understand a word that guy says, though.
It doesn't matter. That's why he has your buddy C-3PO there to translate.
True. That's true.
But he knows everything about anything and anything about everything.
Yeah.
Smartest dude in the world. Smartest dude in the galaxy or universe, if you're, part of the Star Wars fame. Wit, he gets a 9. He's always beeping and squeaking.
At just the right time and frequency, too, isn't he?
And he knows, I know that we can't understand what the hell he's saying, but you kind of can.
It's the Wall-E thing.
Yeah, it's
like
Wall-E. Yeah. He's got the perfect amount of beeping and squeaking, and he does it in such a way that you can kind of understand what he's saying.
Oh, I get it.
So, trust. Now, I wanted to be honest with this.
I see a little bit of an oopsie here.
Yeah, we had an oopsie, but I did this on purpose. I just went and broke the chart, and I gave him number 11 for this. I think that he's one of the most trustworthy
You fudged the numbers.
I pushed him up
so
1.
Trustworthy. He gets an 11 out of 10.
I pushed him up 1. If you're listening to this, I'm sure you agree with me. R2-D2 gets an 11 for trust. Number 1 trustworthy bot. And I'm going to give him a 7 for beauty because, he looks kind of cool. He's cute.
It's the cute factor.
He's cute.
He's round in all the right places.
Gets kind of dirty, but he's got the curves, so we're giving him a 7.
It's like at the end of a football game. It's like if you don't have grass stains or something wrong, man, because he's through the battle too.
He gets a total of 38, and I'm just going to go out and say this. Even if you wanted to buy him, the Golden Closet just can't acquire that for you.
Not for sale.
He's not even for sale. He's in George Lucas's bathroom or something.
I looked it up, and Yahoo Answers told me that he's at Disneyland right now at a Star Wars exhibit.
Oh, really?
Currently. I don't think he's there permanently. Not if you trust Yahoo Answers.
I'm not sure I do, but
that's what they say. That's where he's
if it was on Quora, maybe I'd trust it.
Now, the number 1 spot.
Cream of the crop.
Of the last row bot list. Goes to the T-800. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. From Terminator 2.
Not Terminator 1.
2.
2 on purpose?
Yes, 2 on purpose.
My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer. The more contact I have with humans, the more I learn.
Cool.
For those that don't know the Terminator, and stop listening if you don't know who the Terminator is a T-800 Cyberdyne Systems Model 101, or the T-850, as it was known in Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, is a highly advanced and by modern standards highly nigh unstoppable killing machine created by the rogue military AI Skynet. They are prominent threats in the Terminator franchise designed specifically for the purpose of human extermination.
Is that from the Robot Supremacy Wiki?
You damn well know it.
I like how you abbreviate it as RSW.
It's the RS dubs.
The RS dubs.
So I figured we should take him from Terminator 2 because that's when he really came into his own.
Yeah.
Terminator 1, he was a villain. I'd rather do the good guy than the bad guy on this list. Some bad guys forced their way in here based on pure charisma.
He had a little bit better style in 2 too, because it was like the early 90s instead of like 84 or whatever the other one was.
Yeah. His endoskeleton wasn't claymation.
Yeah.
In this one. So
the stop motion.
Yeah. So for strength, dude gets a 10, man.
Yeah, he's off the charts. He should
probably
get
do
11.
whatever, wherever, whenever. He can stop a moving 16 or 18 wheeler with his pinky finger. Intelligence is a 5 because he only does what he's computed to do.
Yeah, it's either kill John Connor or protect John Connor.
Right.
Or Sarah Connor.
Yeah. And the first one, obviously you can't trust him because his mission was to kill. And the second one, you can trust him completely because he's only programmed to protect you.
Yeah.
Wit, he gets a 6. I mean, he can learn to be funny from John Connor, but he still doesn't understand what humor is.
He just knows, like, okay, maybe this is funny, so I'll say it. Like, it's computed as funny, so he'll say it.
So, trust, dude gets a flat 10, because, again, you can trust him with your life.
I mean, he literally will save you until he dies, until his battery runs out.
Yes.
Until he falls into lava on a chain.
And hey, dude loves to kill people, right? In the beginning of the movie, all John Connor had to do was say, "You just can't go around killing people." Why? Because you can't.
You just can't.
Why? What do you mean? Why? You just can't. And from then on, no deaths. Did not kill one person after
Just
John
shot
Connor
a couple
told him
guys
not
in the
to.
leg.
You kneecap a couple guys. That's how much on his word this man is. This bot is.
What about beauty? What are you giving him for beauty?
Beauty. It's a highly controversial topic in this household. We settled on an 8 for Arnold. For 1992 Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's probably in his late 30s at that point, right?
I don't know. He's something like that.
Yeah, so he's got like the flat top Arnold thing going on at this point. Sunglasses on. He's on the motorcycle looking cool.
He's not so much a bodybuilder anymore. He's just really freaking jacked.
Yeah. And you can tell the ladies were checking him out, not knowing he was a droid.
Yeah.
A cyborg, if you will. I apologize. The last wife, not too smitten with him. But
she was a little down on him, wasn't she?
A little bit. So we settled on an 8 for a total combined score of 39 out of 50, and our top robot of the list, the last robot standing, T-800, Terminator 2.
Does he get a Johnny 5 trophy? Like, does the Terminator get the Johnny 5
If
as the
there's
trophy?
such a thing as a Johnny 5 trophy, I would own it.
You want it?
I'm not giving it away to anybody, all right?
You want it?
So if you disagree with the list, please let us know. Please. Write in, tell us we're stupid. I do plan on setting out a detailed write-up of this list on a blog post
We'll put
on our
it on
website.
the website, yeah.
Well, it'll be on our website shortly. And please feel free to leave a comment on there. Agree, disagree, write us in, email, tell us we're stupid, whatever you want to do.
And let us know what movies you guys want to see. Before we send you guys off and just want to say thanks for listening and hope you enjoyed it, we're going to get to one email that we got this week, and this one was from Jeremy. Referencing our episode on Karate Kid 3 with Daniel LaRusso and Terry Silver.
Karate Kid 3,
colon
The Ballad of
Terry Silver, or Silver's Revenge,
Silver's
as we
Revenge.
much said. Jeremy says, I feel like the All Valley Championship is way darker than we're led to believe. It's like the kids' version of the Kumite. I bet Terry Silver's got some serious betting lines on that beep. Which I totally can't believe that we didn't make the comparison to that, because it kind of is.
Would you have been okay with Karate Kid being a 3-hour movie and spending the last hour at that All Valley?
Dude, if Terry Silver's in it, they could make it 12 hours.
I would have watched a 4-hour Karate Kid 3 movie.
I would like to see more of the tournament. You know, Daniel LaRusso, he kind of wussed out, didn't have to fight much, only had to fight one because Terry Silver, put his stamp on that tournament, made sure that he was in the end because he wanted his buddy Mikey Barnes to win. But
do you think Mikey Barnes, like, he might have killed a kid in the first round?
He might.
Maybe he was that much better that he was like 27 years old.
Maybe he did. We just didn't see it.
He probably killed a kid and we just didn't see it.
So he's kind of like the Chong Li, you know?
A little bit.
I'm surprised he didn't put some salt in his eyes.
You can't cheat. I mean, that referee, his shirt says ref on it. Referee, so like you can't get anything by him.
Give a point, take a point.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, anyway, we appreciate the email, Jeremy. I totally agree with you. It definitely is like the Kumite, and I'd like to see that movie made. So Karate Kid Part 4, the part we never saw. Anyway, if you enjoyed the show, stay tuned for more. We're going to be doing this for some time. We're trying to go to every other week schedule. We are trying to get out good quality episodes to you guys, and we're just afraid we're trying to rush a little bit, so we may take a week off here or there. We're going to try to go to every other week, so if you have any issues with that, let us know, and we'll try to do some more. But for now, we're going to be doing every other week. And if you want to send us an email, it's thelastrowpodcast@gmail.com. Tweet to us at thelastropod on Twitter, facebook.com, Google+, 415-779-5278 for our voicemail. We're still waiting for some voicemails, and let us know what you think. So I guess we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
See you.